Good evening and thank you for joining us. Mapletop's Activity Center has been rebranded with a nod to its historical name, the Paramount. The venue has been reimagined into a restaurant and bar and celebrated its grand opening today. Jessica Clement has the story.
The Paramount Theatre building was packed on Saturday as the venue celebrated the grand opening of its new restaurant and bar. The free event featured live performances, various activities, and gave attendees the chance to try out some of the Paramount's new food options. General Manager James Mahon says the restaurant is part of the building's rebrand into a venue that both children and adults can enjoy.
We've been taking the community feedback from all the years in Mapletops and kind of taking that and running with it. I really want to provide something special to the community here. I'm sure everybody remembers this building as the Paramount as a movie theater way back when, maybe some of the older folks. And then it converted to Wiggles and Giggles, and then furthermore into Mapletops. And I wanted a way to bring all of that together and celebrate the history in this building and kind of give the community something to do on the north side that isn't just drinking.
Mahon notes they're making several upgrades to the building, including a full kitchen, a sound and light system, and various arcade games. Mahon says they're also bringing back movies.
So I'm really excited to announce that we'll be running movies again on a regular basis. So we will be opening up our doors to all moviegoers, and if anybody has any suggestions, you could just drop us a message on Facebook, and we'll look to see if we get the licensing for it.
Mahon says around 2,000 people RSVP'd to Saturday's event, and he's amazed by all the support they've received from the community.
Honestly, it makes all of the work that the team put in worth it. Seeing all the kids running around laughing, the parents enjoying a nice warm meal, it all comes together and makes me know that all of those hours were worth it. I'm really, really blown away at the support from the community.
Mahon adds that this is just the start and wants the community to keep an eye out for the Paramount's future events, including the Terror in the Bay Film Festival. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
And the celebration continues tonight with a retro dance party for people 19 and over. That event will run from 8 to 2 in the morning. We'll now head over to another exciting local community event as a new art exhibit focusing on unity and diversity has kicked off at Goods & Co. One People, One Planet, One Justice opened yesterday at the CoLab Gallery, featuring 17 submissions in various media.
An arts exhibit 2 years in the making is coming to the CoLab Gallery at Goods & Co. Beginning this week, the public will be able to experience 17 works of art created by 17 people from the region. The One People, One Planet, One Justice exhibit features various media and focuses on unity, diversity, and the oneness of humanity.
A wonderful group statement about communities.
Local potter Fritz Lemberg spearheaded the project and talks about the conversations he hopes are sparked from the exhibit.
A service to the people involved, all the artists, because it gave them a venue. They've obviously been thinking about these things, some form of unity. So the show is a service for them, but it's also a service to the larger community to try and stimulate more conversation and more energy around unity, what we can achieve together.
The works in the exhibit were contributed by artists from all across northwestern Ontario. Lemberg spoke about one piece from Jenny Pert Wesley and how it exemplifies the exhibit's focus of community.
I think her kids worked on it, her family worked on it, and then they put it out in the neighborhood, and everybody contributed some part of the painting, I guess you call it. There's a lot of energy, just really positive, flowing energy in that. I love it.
The One People, One Planet, One Justice exhibit will be open to the public until October 21st during regular Goods & Co. hours.
The Ontario Native Women's Association held their annual Sisters in Spirit event yesterday to honor the lives of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. The vigil, drumming, and other activities were held at the local Onwa headquarters. Dozens of women gathered for bannock and tea and then took part in a group crafting session. Participants decorated miniature red dresses, the symbol of MMIW, and then put them up on the red dress wall. Onwa Community Capacity Coordinator Michelle McGuire spoke about the significance of this day.
We're doing some red dress making, so that's an activity for community members to build, create a little red dress. So there's an Inuit style, Métis style, and a First Nation style. We're also doing a community safety check-in.
And why is today so important?
Each year we gather to honor the lives of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, support their families and their communities, and also, most importantly, to raise awareness on this issue. So we ask women to take up their leadership roles in their communities.
With the one-year anniversary of the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel looming large, rallies supporting both Palestinians and Israelis broke out across the world today. That as tensions escalated across the Middle East, with Israeli strikes killing dozens more civilians in Lebanon and a potential blow to the Hezbollah militant group. CTV's Camille Karamali reports.
Reminders of Israel's might relentless across Lebanon on Saturday. Explosions rocking the capital Beirut, airstrikes flattening homes in the east, a rare attack in the north striking a refugee camp and killing a Hamas leader, while Israeli troops continued their ground invasion in the south, adding dozens more to the growing death toll in Lebanon, now surpassing 1,400 people killed. Israel's ongoing assault against Hezbollah may have struck another blow to the militant group. Hashem Safieddin, most likely to take over as Hezbollah's leader, has been out of contact since Friday. While Francophone world leaders at a Paris summit repeated calls for a ceasefire Saturday.
To be able to stabilize the situation, to be able to ensure that the United Nations resolution begins to be respected again, and to work towards peace.
Those calls were echoed around the world as pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli rallies broke out in major cities, including in Canada, Ottawa, Toronto, and Winnipeg. The protests leading up to the one-year anniversary of the October 7th Hamas attack that killed roughly 1,200 Israelis and led to Israel's months-long offensive in Gaza that's now killed more than 40,000 Palestinians. And the world continues to wait and see how Israel will respond to Iran's missile barrage from earlier this week. So far, Israel has not given the U.S. any assurances it won't target Iranian oil fields or nuclear sites. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
Back to our country now. As the doctor shortages continues across the province, the Ontario College of Family Physicians honored some professionals in Sault Ste. Marie. 8 family physicians at the group health center there received certificates of recognition for their dedication to patient care. CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports.
A surprise award ceremony honored 8 group health family doctors following a new campaign by the Ontario College of Family Physicians.
We asked patients, what inspires you most about your family doctor or your family physician? And we thought we'd hear a few responses, and we had over 750 patients tell us about how they felt about their doctor.
The Group Health Center has witnessed a difficult year as a result of doctor shortages, and it's weighed on the physicians that are still practicing. They say these awards will be a reminder of the impact they make on some of those difficult days.
It's clear that she loves her patients and her work. We're incredibly lucky to have her as our family doctor.
It's really nice to be appreciated. It's not always an easy job, but I love it. I can't picture doing anything else, so it's nice to be recognized and know that people are grateful.
You know, you develop a relationship over many years. You get to know your patients, their families, their history, and you get to know them fairly intimately, and I think that's a huge part in being able to provide them with good health care.
With 8 of 30 group health doctors honored, officials say it's another indicator of the strong work done at the organization, which can also be seen through stats outlined in provincial reports.
What those metrics have been showing us consistently for years is that our group does a great job. Our numbers are better than Algoma, better than the Northeast average, and actually every one of our metrics is better than provincial average.
Group health officials say they are still working hard to recruit new physicians to the organization. Doctors that I spoke with hope the high number of local award winners can prove to graduating medical students or other physicians the success that can be achieved in the Sioux and assist in the recruitment process. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
An official book launch and signing event was held at the O'Kelly VC Armory today for Thunder Bay raised Scott Saxberg's debut historical fiction, Those We Carry. The book is equal parts action, drama, and suspense, and is the first fiction book published by the Thunder Bay Museum. The heartbreaking love story follows a Canadian soldier and a young Dutch woman during the Second World War and was inspired by Saxberg's great uncle, who was a member of the Lake Superior Scottish Regiment during that time. The book took him about 5 years to write, as Saxberg researched and pieced together various archival materials, including his uncle's regimental diary. Saxberg says he's excited for this release of his book, and he hopes it inspires other local authors to share their stories.
This is such a great place to share the book at the Lake Superior Regiment Armory, and the history around it, and all the soldiers that were here that lined up to go off to war that make up this book. And hopefully they would be proud of reading this book and the history that they've created.
Readers can buy Those We Carry in person at the Thunder Bay Museum or on Amazon.